Okay, I'm back again. And this isn't really a rant. I guess it's more of just a observation. And I'm wondering if... Actually, I know I'm not the only one that does this. But, so what I have noticed is that when you become a mom, you just kind of seem to stop doing a lot of other stuff. And it seems like it's different for the dads, that, you know, dads and men, if they need like a stress break, they need just to leave and go take some time for themselves, they have no problem doing that. They can go fishing, they can do their thing, maybe whatever it is that they've always done. But for women, it's like we just stop doing that. And my husband says this to me all the time. You just need to go out with your friends, or go do this, or go find something, go find a hobby. He says that all the time. And it's like frustrating, because it's not like I don't want to find a hobby. But I think for women, it becomes a lot more difficult after you've had kids. And for myself, like, I moved to a different state out of college, and then I got married and had kids, and so having friends, or getting friends was really difficult, because it's like, one, I'm kind of shy and kind of introverted, and I think a lot of people maybe think that I'm stuck up, and I'm not. I'm just, I feel kind of like on the outside a lot, and so it's really difficult to make friends or find friends. You know, other people, they're like really outgoing, and they can join a book club or do, you know, a 5K with their girlfriends, or go do that kind of thing, or volunteer somewhere. And I don't know why, but I think part of it is also that I have anxiety, and I have social anxiety, and I get stressed out myself, and it just that I'm not able to do some of these things. It's not that I'm not able to do it, just in my head, I'm not able to do it. And so the reason that I'm thinking about this is because today I messaged a girlfriend who I would consider her a friend, but like, we don't really ever hang out. You know, does that make sense? So she used to be a neighbor, and now she moved to a different subdivision, but we're still friends, but we just don't ever hang out. And I messaged and asked if she wanted to get together, and so we're going to go and have a drink today. And the reason I'm thinking, like, wow, why don't I ever do this? And I know I need to, but I feel guilty, like I'm leaving the house to take care of my own needs, and who's going to make dinner, and the house is going to be dirty, and I'm going to get home and then have to do it later. It's like, these are the things that go through your head, especially if you're someone like me who just stresses about a lot of things, and once I wind myself up that way, then it's really hard to unwind. But at the same time, I'm kind of wound a little tight anyway, because I don't go and, you know, give myself a break. And I know it's important, and I know I need to do it more often, and I think that probably most moms feel that way. And I was listening to a NPR podcast called Invisibilia, and I don't remember which episode it was, but they were saying how, I think it was called The Problem with the Solution. But they were talking about a town where people who have mental problems, they don't put them in a asylum. I don't know what they're called now, but like basically an asylum. They don't do that there. The town literally takes in these people, and individuals or families will take in the people, and a lot of times they might have drug dependencies and other issues, and when they get into these home settings, they do a lot better. Now, they might have these really weird quirks that are very confusing to somebody who, like an American who would go and visit and be like, isn't it really stressful to deal with as a family to have this person with a mental disease or mental problem living in your home doing like these really weird things? And the thing that I kind of associate this with is they also were talking about a study in this NPR podcast where somebody who is released from, let's say, a drug or alcohol recovery program, and they go to live with their family, versus somebody who's released from a drug or alcohol program and they go to live with a halfway house. So there's two different types of scenarios after the recovery, where the people who live with their family have a lower success rate in staying clean than people who go and live in a halfway house. And a lot of it has to do with how your family will treat you. And, you know, you put all these expectations on the person who is recovering, that they should, why don't you do this? You need to get a job, you need to da-da-da. And whereas in a halfway house, you just kind of have certain rules and that's it. And nobody really hounds you to be this way or that way. And if you have weird quirks, then you have weird quirks. It's not, you know, everybody is just doing their own thing. And maybe, I think what it really kind of comes down to is, in a home setting, you care too much. And maybe that's kind of how women are. After we have kids and we've got our family, we just care too much that we don't take care of ourselves. And I think that's kind of what I'm going through right now. As a mom, I've got 2 kids and I'm married, and, you know, I put my husband's career before mine. And you just really start self-sacrificing. And because you care so much, you just kind of write yourself out of the equation. So I am really going to try to do a better job of adding myself back into the equation and taking better care of myself, whether that's joining a gym. I mean, all of these things, it's like I literally don't see myself doing them, but I need to, because the anxiety gets worse, and I need something that's like out of the house, not a hobby that's in the house. I have plenty of like hobbies like crocheting and reading and, you know, other solo isolating things that I can do, but I need something that's outside of the house, maybe social, and I really need to get doing something like that, even if it's just going out once a month, once a year, to hang out with a girlfriend. I really need that. And I imagine that there are plenty of other women out there who need that too. So if you guys have any ideas that work, if you are a stressful person or have anxiety, things that I could try, I am so open to hearing them. I really just want to be open and try new things and see what works for me. So anyway, take care, and I hope everyone out there is taking care of themselves and starts to put themselves first every now and then, because it is really important. Okay, bye.